I decided to leave the craft paper down on top of this sink for right now. But I got the valve shut off. And the last thing you want to do is make the assumption that everything's off. Or you can turn that on and see. Sometimes, I've had valves before where I thought it was turned off all the way, and son of a gun, it was still dripping or still running kind of low. And lots of times the gate valves, you know, the water supply line valves underneath sinks and next to toilets, 15 years or so, even less than 10 years, sometimes they just don't shut off all the way. Something gets caught in there. If you're in a complex and they turn your water off, on and off every once in a while to service something, then when they turn the water back on, it flushes anything out of the main water line through into people's valves, and then it gets stuck in gate valves and toilet fill valves and all over the place. So periodically you want to check those valves. I get a nice shot of this too now that I have that door off the cabinet. We haven't been moved in here very long, and so it took me a while to try to find something here to fit under that. And a lot of times these are just hand tight. You tighten them up with the little nibs on the sides, and this will have water in it from this height to the height of your pipe, the bottom of your pipe, okay? If you don't have a clog or anything. So not much water is going to come out of this. You know, I could be careful with it and then just take it outside, but see, I'm getting water dripping out of it right now. And if you forget, it's not that big of a deal. You're not going to get that much water out of here. Then you can wipe up the rest with a sponge. Okay. See, this trap is full of water. There. That's the only thing that's got water in here now. Okay, and that's gone. And see, that was just finger tight. I wonder if this one's finger tight too. Yeah, look at that. Okay, pull that out. And incidentally, if you're going to reuse this stuff, you have to use it soon enough before your gaskets, your little rings dry out and stuff. Worst case scenario, you may have to pull that off and go down to the store and get a new ring if it's leaking. Then you put it all back together. I don't think I'm going to reuse this adjustable P-trap, because when the plumber gets here, he's going to have to re-plumb this whole thing. We're getting a new garbage disposal, and the sink layout where the drains are coming out in the next sink is slightly different than this. So this is all going to have to be redone. Okay? And now it's just a matter of disconnecting this stuff. I want to get up to this T. Okay. And see, I'm going to have to unscrew this first so I don't. Maybe not. Okay, here we go. There. Okay. All that. Now I can unscrew that, pull that out, and I'm going to leave this top one alone. I'm just going to leave it on this sink extension there. I could loosen up this brass fitting there with a pair of channel locks and take this last piece down. You know? Oh, I thought if it's loose enough, I'll take it down, and look at that. It was loose enough. Got that pulled out of there. Okay. All right. So now a couple screws here to pull this extension off, and a screw up here to pull this big pipe that goes up to the air gap, and I'll be ready to disconnect the garbage disposal. What I should have done was unplug that garbage disposal first. I got it down now, and I'll finish taking this pipe out of here and this other one. Now, am I a professional licensed plumber? Of course not. You don't have to be either. Okay. those. Usually those screws you can get off with a standard screwdriver, or if you can't get it all the way tight with the standard screwdriver, you just tighten it up with a little pair of a little crescent wrench. Okay? A funny thing about garbage disposals, when you're I'm just going to put these screws back in just to hold it, just so I don't lose them. A funny thing I was going to tell you about a garbage disposal, if for some reason you do not, or you do have a dishwasher for some reason, most people do, but when you install one of these, this top bit here, okay, I'm going to take that out now, that goes up to the air gap. Well, more times than not, and I don't know if they still do it, I think they do, they'll put a knockout inside, because this has a little piece that sticks out, okay? Sometimes, not all the time, okay, now I'm just wiggling that to get this off of there. Oh, there, okay? That goes up to the air gap, and I could leave that, like I say, because it's attached to the sink, right? But when you get garbage disposals, okay, here, that piece is up. Can you see that? It sticks out right there, that nib. I think you can. Right there. That's where that pipe goes, see? Right in there. Okay? When you get new garbage disposals, there's a knockout in there. And if you don't read the directions properly, you think, I don't need to read the directions, I don't know how to install one of those. And you get the whole thing done, you hook this up, you hook your dishwasher up, and the first time your dishwasher goes through a draining cycle, it's not working, and you may have water spitting out of your air gap up on top of here because it can't drain through there because there's a knockout in there. So when you get ready to install it, you pop that out with a screwdriver, reach down inside of there before you install it and pull that little piece out of there. And two different times I've installed garbage disposals years ago, we had that issue where everything's done, okay, yeah, we're done, but we didn't run the new dishwasher through a cycle like we should have, and the owner calls us the next day, hey, the dishwasher's not working, it's flooding, we got water underneath the cabinet and all that kind of stuff. We go out there and we find out that we didn't knock this out. You gotta knock that out before you hook everything up to get that to drain properly. Why do they have that knockout there? Well, some kitchens don't have a dishwasher. So if you want the garbage disposal to work, yeah, of course you're not gonna hook that up there because there's not gonna be any air gap because there's not gonna be any dishwasher, so you won't even have that. So that's why they put the knockout in there. So again, it goes to reading your instructions before you install something, and that includes garbage disposals. Okay, well, it didn't take very long to get this all disconnected so far. I still have to disconnect right here with the little crescent wrench to get this up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, remember? That's why I'm going to take those two pieces off, and I can just let these dangle because they'll be hooked up to the sink faucet, and the sink faucet and the air gap are installed right on top of this old sink. Okay, so I've got to do that, but before I do that, I think I want to get this out of the way. Okay, remember I've got 3 tabs up here like this, one here, one there, and on the back side. I'm just going to whack that with a screwdriver or hammer, my crummy screwdriver, and hit on that, and it's just like a screw. It's got threads on there and there's threads on this, so I righty tighty lefty loosey, so I know I have to hit that way, right? Because I'm going to the left. Okay, and then that should come out. So I'll get situated, and we'll do that next. That's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. I hope you're learning some cool stuff, man. Okay, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Well, we've got to disconnect the sink, disconnect the garbage disposal, and get ready to pry that bad boy up out of there. Hope to see you then.